So there's multiple ways you can profit, not just financially, so keep that in mind. If you guys haven't wrote these 6 pillars down, I highly recommend you write these down, because where we got these from is from a person, one of our mentors, one of Justin's mentors, that I got introduced to, that I got the privilege to be able to have mentorship from. His name is Mr. Nolan, right? He talks about this, the 6 pillars. Okay, very credible, billion-dollar producer. Okay, now, let's talk about philosophy, right? How many of you guys know what philosophy is?
Yes.
Philosophy. Powerful. Raise your hand if you know what philosophy is.
Yes.
Interesting. Interesting how only the top producers know what philosophy is. The owners, the top agents, the top consultants, the managers, they know what that is. So here's what the definition: the study of proper behavior and the search for wisdom. It's pretty much understanding why people do certain things that they do. The original meaning of the word philosophy comes from the Greek roots philo, meaning love, and sophos, meaning wisdom. When someone studies philosophy, they want to understand how and why people do certain things, how to live a good life. In other words, they want to know the meaning of life. That's powerful, right?
Very.
What is the meaning of life? Have you ever asked yourself that?
Yes.
You ponder, have you ever asked yourself, what is the meaning of your life? Right? That's something to really pay attention to, because if you don't know what keeps you up every day, if you don't know what keeps you moving forward every day, then how do you do it? There's got to be something, right? There's got to be a purpose, right? You don't just show up to work. You don't just get up just because. That's a philosophy, right? So, how do we really understand what philosophy is? How do we understand what the reason why what we do, the things that we do? We have to reverse engineer it, right? Everybody say reverse engineer it.
Reverse engineer it.
Awesome. So reverse engineer it, right? So let's think about this. So your philosophy, it starts with your philosophies, right? The beginning is your philosophy. Okay? Your philosophy determines your thoughts. You guys are thinking on a day-to-day basis, right? Throughout the day. How many hours are in a day? 24 hours, right? Is there ever a moment, a second, a minute in the time of the day that your mind does not think? No. It's thinking constantly. And whatever it's thinking, whatever you're retaining focus on, expands. So if you're thinking negatively, if you're thinking self-defeat, if you're thinking, I can't do this because I don't know this, then that's what you're going to attract. Right? That's what you're bringing in. Because everything was created twice. First in the mind, and then physical. It's physical equivalent.
Right there.
So you first have to think about it before it can even come into fruition. So write that down. Everything is created twice. First in the mind, then it's physical equivalent. So what is it that you're thinking about? Are you thinking about giving these clients the best top flight service that they can possibly get? Are you thinking about getting into their new home? Are you thinking about having their kids get raised in the new home that they're about to get qualified for? Are you thinking about what they've been through? We've been through some stuff financially, right? I'm currently a client of top flight assistance because my credit's messed up, right? And I'm willing and I'm humble to say that my credit's jacked up. How about you? So, what is it that you're thinking about, right? It matters. If you say, I have nothing to think about, I don't know what I'm thinking about, guess what? An idle mind is the devil's playground.
Hello.
An idle mind is the devil's playground. So if you're not in control, who's in control?
Devil.
The devil. Yes. You got it. I loved you. You're so sharp.
Yep.
Nothing is present.
Nothing. Oh. Your thoughts determine your actions. Have you ever thought about that? Why am I doing this? It stems from what? Your thoughts. Your thoughts determine your actions. So if you're not acting a certain way, it's because of the way that you're thinking. If you want to be able to be successful, if you want to be a top performer, if you want to be the person who's getting talked every week, if you want to be the person who's a manager, if you want to be a closer, if you want to be an owner, what is it that you're doing actively? How is it that you're thinking? And what is your philosophy? Because that matters, right? Do you know like how it is that you act? Do you know that you have a self-image in yourself? We do, right? So the self-image that other people see is different from how you see yourself. So, but it has to line up with how you're acting, what you're thinking, what your philosophy is. It has to line up. Your actions determine your results. How many of you guys sometimes aren't happy with your check? Ooh. Yep. Some of us are, right? But it all comes from what? Your actions.
Yup.
Some of us say we want to be able to do this and this and that, but it comes down to what is it that you're actively doing. So if you're not taking constant, if you're not aware, if you're not constantly thinking about what it is that you're acting on and why is it that you're acting on, then you just get stuck. You're going to feel like you're living the same day over and over and over and over again, feeling stuck. Who's ever felt that before? Say aye.
Aye.
That's some real stuff, right? I felt like that before. I felt like, oh man, I know there's something more out there for me. I know there's something more because I feel like I'm living the same day over and over and over and over again. Right? But if nothing changes, nothing what?
Changes.
So what are we going to change if it all starts from what? Your philosophies. So your philosophies, then your actions, right? Your actions determine your results. But the philosophy starts with what it is, how it is in our mental state, our mentality. Write that down. Mentality. Did you guys write it?
Yes.
Did you write it down?
Yes.
Did you write it down?
Yes.
Cool.
Solid.
So think about it, right? Then ink it. Think it and then ink it. If it's worth thinking about, it's worth inking about.
Think it. Say that more time.
Think it and then ink it. So if it's worth thinking about, it's worth inking about. So if your goals, your desires are worth thinking about, I want you to ink that. Write that down, right? So one thing I want to take a group exercise before we go ahead and move forward with this is think about your top 3 desires right now that you have desired in your heart. Right? Write that down. The top 3 desires that you're currently desiring on in your heart. Write that down. Some of us don't even know what that is.
Done.
But like I said, if it's worth thinking about, it's worth inking about. Has everybody wrote it down? You guys got it written down?
Yep.
Okay. So, mentality. Go back to mentality. Circle the first 2 letters. Me, right? Circle the first 3 letters.
Men.
Men. Circle the first 6 letters. What is that?
Mental.
Mental. Now, circle the last 6 letters. What is that?
Color.
Tality. Tality. You, as an individual, the me, along with the people we surround ourselves with, along with the way that we think, tality means the great reality of our life.